Are you ready to live boldly, full out, and on your terms? It's time to wake up, overcome your fears, and embrace uncertainty. Access your power and claim your dreams. It's time for Tuck Talk with Tuck Self, the Rebel Belle. Join us now for inspiring conversation and bold self-expression for living life full out and on your terms. Now here is your host for today's podcast, the Rebelicious Tuck Self.
Welcome, you all. My name is Tuck Self. Actually, I am Tuck Self. It's not just my name. I am Tuck Self, the Rebel Belle, and Southern voice for bold self-expression. And this is Tuck Talk. As I've said before many times, Tuck Talk is inspiring conversation, I hope, with the Rebel Belle. That would be me and my guest, Bells with Balls. That would be women and sometimes mystery guest men, because we do love men, who trust their power, who own their boldest voices of self-expression in the world, and share their gifts and their talents full out and on their terms. Now, I am a coach. I'm a writer, a speaker, and a radio talk show host with a passion for over-the-top inspiring and empowering my clients to express themselves fully and boldly and powerfully and, my favorite one, outrageously, and with passion, purpose, and boatloads of play. If listening to me sounds the least bit fun to you and you would like to play and engage with me, I invite you to do that at my website, www.therebelbelle.com. Now, this is usually the point in the evening where I get to go and introduce my guest, Belle with Balls. And tonight, I kind of like, I guess, I'm introducing myself, because tonight I have decided to invite you all to come and have some tea and talk with me. Now, none of you brought any tea. I hope that's no indication of whether or not you'll talk with me. So, again, I want to invite you to have some tea and talk with me at the Rebel Belle Tea Party Call. I have entitled tonight's call a little T.L.C., which is transformation, liberation, and celebration, because I would like for us to talk about how we can transform the energy of the outworn structures in our lives. You might know the ones that I'm speaking of, the ones that keep us stuck, maybe experiencing the same old, if that happens to be something that's happening in your life. We're going to look at how to liberate, I love that word, it's kind of like freedom, liberate patterns and conditionings that are stuck in our energy field and stuck in what I'm going to talk to you about tonight, which is the matrix of your thought forms. And then we're going to do the big C, and the big C is celebrate, and that is celebrating ourselves as the magnificent creators that we are. Individuals who are here to learn to create from energy and from our heart's desires to experience joy, creativity, and, God, my favorite one, listen to this, ease. Now, I'm assuming that those of you who are listening have probably studied and mentored with lots of amazing folks, and that you have boatloads of tools of your own for overcoming your fears and claiming the life of your dreams. In fact, you might be up to your eyeballs in it and think, oh, my God, Tuck, please don't share any more with me. But you came to have some tea and talk with me, so we're going to do that anyway. I'm going to ask you all two questions. I want you just to take a really deep breath and then exhale and just play with me here for a minute, because my question to you is, are you enjoying the process of creating and manifesting your desires? Are you having fun in those moments of not having this thing in your life that you're desiring to have? In those moments where you really get that you don't have this thing yet, are you really able to embrace that feeling of not having it yet? And when I say embrace it, I mean really embrace it with the juiciness that life brings. Like, oh my God, it's not here yet, and I know it's on the way. So are you enjoying the manifestations of your desires? That's the first question. You know, I do too, and yet I still have those moments where I'm triggered, where I get stuck, where I feel not good enough, and where I feel small. And I'm not enjoying the not having of that thing. That happens a lot in my relationship. That was a singular relationship. So with that being said, the question that comes to mind for me is, you know, what keeps me in those moments from really enjoying that moment, which then takes me to the next question is, and I'll ask it of you because I could ask it of me too, what is your greatest fear? If you could pare it down to one thing and one thing only, what is your greatest fear? You don't have to tell me what it is unless you want to, but go ahead and write it down. Because the process of T.L.C, the transformation, liberation, and celebration, is about conquering, overcoming those fears, and enjoying the process. I mean, really making it fun, the effort and the struggle that's there sometimes, the depression and the anger that's there sometimes, really finding a way to make that fun and embrace it. And then partnering with that desire and the fun that comes with envisioning and imagining and creating the essence experiences that you want to have in your life. Now, when I say essence experience, I've had people stop me because they don't really get the word essence sometimes. So we're going to talk about essence and see if this rings true for you all at all. Essence to me is the feeling that I get when I experience something. So it is the feeling experience that happens to me when I'm involved in a circumstance, when I'm doing something. I am relating that or comparing that to a word called form. Form is the thing that we're doing where we get to experience essence. So when we talk about creating the life of our dreams and the life of our desires, and we're looking for this thing to come into our life, and maybe we're having a great time waiting on it, and maybe we're not having a great time waiting on it, what is it that we're waiting on? Are we waiting on this form to show up in our life like money or the perfect man, or the perfect career? Or is it essence that we're looking to bring into our life, which is freedom and fun and connection and contribution and wisdom and peace and all of those things? Essence describes how we feel when we're doing what it is that we love to do, when we're in awe of ourselves, actually, when we're lost in the moment. Essence is what I call the language of your spirit and the language of your soul. It represents the desires of your soul. It's how we communicate to spirit. So it's through this language of essence that the universe is able to bring to us those things that we desire. My very favorite essence word is freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. Freedom, can you hear it in my energy when I say I love freedom? Now, how I get to experience and create this essence of freedom in my life can take on many different forms. One of the forms that it takes on for me is running. When I run, I feel absolute freedom. I don't know if you guys watched the movie Chariots of Fire years ago. When the guy was running, and you could just feel it and see it when he ran, and someone asked him how he felt when he was running, and he said, when I am running, I feel God's pleasure. And to me, that's a great example of essence and the feeling experience that it brings. So, are we all clear on essence, and essence as it relates to form? So with that being said, let's go back to the question, what is your greatest fear? Truth is, we're always creating. I don't think I'm telling y'all anything that you don't already know. We're always moving energy. In fact, truth be told, what we have in our life right now, we have created. Totally our responsibility, totally in charge of creating it. And along the same lines, we're also totally in charge of changing those circumstances if we don't like them. And how we've done that is either consciously or unconsciously, but the way I love to talk about it or think about it is that I have created it with my imagination. That just makes it a lot more fun for me. I have created my life, my imagination, and my thoughts, and that combination of many thoughts, I like to call those thought forms, have created my life as it is today. So when I talk about thoughts and I talk about thought forms, what I want to talk to you tonight is something called the matrix. The matrix of your thought forms. If you can, think about it this way. Your thoughts create a construct of energy, and that energy we call the matrix. This matrix is going to be and can be considered your literal agreement with the universe about what your reality is going to be, and it acts as a filter to allow certain things into your reality and certain things not into your reality. So if my matrix consists of thoughts and thought forms of joy and freedom and fun and contribution, all of my essence words, ease, those are the experiences that are going to show up in my life. If my matrix consists of struggle and fear and anger and doom and gloom and all that stuff, then those are going to be the experiences that show up in my reality. Again, that matrix is your literal agreement with what you allow the universe to bring to you, and you are the one that creates that matrix through your thought forms via all the experiences of your life. So you construct your matrix, therefore you create your reality, and you can deconstruct that matrix, release any and all thought forms that are anything less than love, and then recreate that matrix with all of those essence words and all of your desires for joy, creativity, ease, freedom, flow, and abundance. That's the part that we're here to celebrate. That's the part that we're here to celebrate. Are y'all still with me? Can I get a hoo-ha? Hoo-ha! Hoo-ha! Okay, good. I'm going to have another little sip of my tea. I am so sorry y'all don't have tea. Then you could sit with me. Okay, so here we are at our little tea party. We're talking about transformation, liberation, and celebration. In your handout, I gave you a little visual that we're going to play with and use this evening. And then I gave you the handout with lots of little lines and words on it, so you were free to write down whatever it is that we're talking about and take notes on your sheets. But here's going to be the fun part. You wrote down what your greatest fear is. And what we're going to do tonight is look at a way to face that fear. And look at ways maybe that we don't face that fear. We hide from that fear, and maybe how we can even observe and know when that fear comes up in the future. Facing fear to me is facing the experiences in my life that cause